Right, let's get this show on the road. Link there, link there, link there. Let's do this. Good, done. Excellent. How's everybody doing? Let's get the zoom up. That's that, and there. That's that, and send. And then let's get that on. That's it. Oh, okay, I've got to sign in, have I? Right, let's sign in. And let's keep me signed in. Good. Share screen. Let's get that on there. Admit. Oops, there we go. Excellent. How's everybody? How are you doing? How's life? How's things?
Hey Alex,
Anna Banana! How are ya?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, what you up to? How's it going?
Pretty cool. I got a promotion at work, so I've been like super busy. But
Oh, you're working as well as studying. I thought you was doing some project with some sort of back testing, something you had to, I don't know, some research or something. I remember you saying.
yeah, still am. Just doing too much for once.
Yeah. What are you doing? What work are you doing?
I'm a project manager and property manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last captain.
Okay. So yeah, so you're busy. Um, that's okay. How's the weather? Tell me how nice it is. Send me some pictures.
It was actually we had a cold front for like 4 days straight. It was like super cold for us over here.
Hmm.
It's all sunny today, so that's good. No bad weather.
Sunny. Yeah, that's good.
Some pictures of what we were doing.
Yeah, send some pictures. Exactly. Do send some pictures.
How
Okay.
about you? How have you been?
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. I've just launched my podcast, psychology podcast, trading podcast, but managed to launch it out there on. It's under review with iTunes with Apple, which is kind of cool, really. They might just knock it back and for whatever reason, but Spotify have taken it, and I got the approval this morning. I woke up about 5ish, and I see an email that was sent about that time saying that it's on. So I've linked it to Spotify, which is quite cool, really. It's like a lockdown project, something to do.
What exactly is it called? I have Spotify.
Yeah, it's I did I post it in the Discord, or let me find it actually. Actually, if you go on any of my social media, I know you don't do much social media, do you? I post
I do follow your Instagram.
Yeah, I posted it all in the story and in my post as well.
Okay, I'm gonna check.
Yeah, so the links are there, and yeah, it's Trading Psychology podcast, and I put it in the psychology section of the Discord as well. So yeah, it's there. It is all there in some form or other. So yeah, that's kind of cool, really. I quite like that. Yeah. Okay, gold is pumping, and I am on gold, and I'm long on gold. And afternoon, Evans antics. I like that. What antics? What antics are you up to? What antics today then, Evans? Evans antics. It's a great name. So how about your trading, Anna? Are you doing anything, back testing anything? Do you still keep one eye on the markets? Any long-term investments?
I focus on yeah, I focus on EU and GU for now. Doing pretty good.
Okay.
Uh, and so I have an 86%. I'm looking at my FX book right now. 86% win rate, which is not bad. In
it's,
December,
it's not bad. It's not bad. How have you managed 86%?
um,
Sounds like you're cheating.
well, I was trying to. I was like I took a break from trying to code the EA to more refine how I wanted it to trade. 'Cause while I when I started to do that, I realized that I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I decided to refine how I trade, and um, I literally just added um, wait a sec, an EMA and an MA crossover, and waited for price to either close above or below to confirm my entry, and
Okay.
that that was able to make my win rate go up go up a bit. I was like in the 70s before, now I'm at 86.
It's all right. Can't complain. That's really good. What's
I have
what time frame?
the 30-minute time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I stopped trading gold for now and
Okay.
just focus on
What?
yeah
Yeah. What pairs? Oh, okay. GBP. Which GBP?
GPUSD and EU.
Okay. Okay.
I think I told Chris that back in like early December, I ended up blowing my account
Yeah.
from trading gold too aggressively, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go on these smaller pairs, and so now it's been good. So I'm just gonna master these two before I can go back to gold.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. I think everyone has a phase. It would seem that they end up over trading and being too aggressive, and they don't realise that they are doing it. But if you take if you look at a standard way of trading and say, okay, you've got 5 days in a week, five chances, therefore, to trade and make some money. And if you're hammering each day and you're taking like 10, 20 trades a day, obviously you're over trading. If you're doing one trade a day, to put things into perspective, then that's not over trading. That's just normal. That's looking for an opportunity each day and making some money and taking some out of the market each day. So yeah, it's about refining that and understanding it and saying, okay, maybe 5 to 10 trades a day is a bit too much. Maybe 1 or 2 trades a day is about right. And again, that's just common sense more than anything. That's not really anything else. So I think sometimes people just forget to apply common sense to certain activities where you would in everyday life apply common sense, but when it comes to trading and managing money, it all just kind of goes out the window a little bit.
I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah, you just have to kind of pull back sometimes and kind of look at things from a third party point of view and remind yourself, because no one's there to do it for you. No one's going to govern you. No one's going to tell you how to manage.
My
See,
psychology is like so much better than it was before. Still working on it like every day, but
yeah, yeah. I think that's fun more than anything. I see that as a fun pet project because you're doing so much more than just applying your psychology to trading, but you're applying it to everyday things and everyday life and how you decide to choose to live your life. And if you're going to choose to be a better person and humble and grateful for what you have, and that's all coming from the hard graft that you're putting in. And yeah, if you always get everything given to you, then you're not fully appreciative. Yeah, so I think that's what I work on anyway. From my point of view, I try and just be a better person and hopefully pay it forwards. And if someone's kind to me, someone paid me a compliment yesterday, don't really get compliment. I'll get things like messages say, "Oh, thanks for helping me with my trading." That's kind, and that's a given. But somebody actually paid me a very nice personal compliment, which I was quite chuffed with. And I said, "Oh, thanks," and I'll pay that forward. I'll go and do something kind for someone else. It made me feel motivated to do that. Yeah, it's kind of sweet, really. I mean, we could also add the small fact that it was a lady, and she's quite hot and quite fit and quite beautiful as well. So I think anything that, it doesn't take much, then does it? I'm a bloke at the end of the day, and a nice, attractive woman will say something nice to me. I'm just like, I'm a melt, aren't I? So that's it. So yeah, I think if it was coming from a big burly bloke, it probably wouldn't have mattered so much. But yeah, so there you go. But yeah, it was nice to receive. It was nice to receive a compliment. So yeah, there you go. We have Mr. Bailey talking at 5 p.m. Shall we expect another positive push on pound pairs? Yeah, I mean, I'm bullish on the market on the pound pairs, and I'm looking for pound dollar to tap out to get up to 139, because I am looking for 140. And gold has just done a little pump, and that's doing a little dump. So if that goes back down to I just missed an exit on that. I could have had an easy 10 bags on that one for about 30 pips. I couldn't close it. I went to click close with the MT4, and I pressed it a couple of times, and then it dropped back a little bit, and I was like, okay, we'll just wait now. And now it's just gone back to my entry. So it is what it is. I think markets are just a little bit choppy at the moment. You can't trade gold unless you swing trade it. So unless you put in proper stops and allow it to create a range and use the high time frame, and then say, okay, if it breaks below gold, for example, if it breaks 133 area to the downside, then yeah, we'll most likely give a lot of this move back. Let me just fix this, because it was a good trade, and now we've gone back up. So I'm just going to I need to be a bit more proactive with gold. Gold is one of those. So a quick 30 pip pump on gold. We'll look to bank some profit on this initial move, and manage the stop loss to break even now. As of now, there you go. Let's take like 5. See if we can get 5 out of that. Hard work. Anyway, there you go. So that's gold done. Let's see what's the pound doing. Pound is drooping to the downside. So we want it to get down to retest the lows, really, to test maybe 138.30, 138.10 to 138. About 138.10 to 138. What's this? Let's see this. What's this message?
Good morning. Thanks a lot for the message. Things have been very interesting.
Someone's just sent me a voice message. Yeah, so Mr. Bailey talking at 5 p.m. London time, which is 12 p.m. lunchtime, New York time. So, yeah, any questions about anything? Do anyone want to look at anything else? So I've got pound dollar up and pound yen. It's pretty quiet out there today. Good. Just reading the messages, just catching up with everything. Let's read this. So I first heard about trading about 6 or 7 months ago. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos, read books, joined groups and courses, bought indicators, etc. Just trying to learn and figure out what to do on my own. I don't know anyone else in my real life who is a profitable trader or even takes it that serious. So I've basically been trying to learn as much as possible through trial and error. I feel like I've been overcomplicating it and have had analysis paralysis, where really I just need to master and gain confidence in a simple strategy that I can easily repeat. Yeah, so I get these messages all the time, and it's all pretty much the same. Same message, could be from the same person if you didn't know. It's always the same theme, it's always the same issues, always the same standard stuff. It all comes back down to experience, I guess. Anyone in any trades at the moment? Anyone trading at all in any positions? Taking any money today from anything? Hello, mate. How'd you get on with? Did you try and buy pound dollar? Because it's just.
Yeah, I was long. I had breaking. Now I hopped in again. I think an hour back at 138.30.
Hmm.
So yeah, doing for the long. That's pretty much it. That's
Okay. Okay. So yeah, long on gold as well. Stops to break even on gold around 142 because it did a pump and it's just pulled back, and now there you go. That's now giving us some profit. I think we could potentially be looking for around 11850. Let's switch this up a little bit. Let's change these charts. So let's save these settings. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you answered this. You probably did answer this before, but your stop loss is based on pips or previous support and resistance?
Well, I think the stop loss is based on support and resistance, looking at the highs and the lows.
No, I meant yours specifically.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
yeah, mine. Yeah, I look at the higher time frames. So I think for gold, for example, that's a prime example. We had a nice little pullback to the low was around 1838. 1838. So I overcompensated because it's gold. I've just made a rule of overcompensating that. So I could have put the stop at 1838, having seen it just go up. Let's change the charts, but I didn't. I decided to pick the previous low. There's no set rule for that really. I just decided to do it that way because I've just noticed with gold it's just been a bit of a beast and it does move. So if I give it a wide stop, it means that my lot size is reduced as well, and then it gives me wiggle room as well. Because if suddenly the market, if this gold suddenly just drops down, it's going to hit my stop loss anyway because my stop's at break even if it does drop. But then if it hadn't gone up and allowed me to take some profit, and it just tanked and it went down to say 39, 38, then I'd look at how it would test that area. I think the stop's too close in that respect. And then if it decides to break 1838, then my stop's at 1832, about 60 pips away. I would cut my loss, most likely. So it gives me an exit strategy. If my stop loss is too tight, or you go the other way, you put like a very tight stop loss, and you have to time your entry and probably use a 1 minute time frame, and yeah, so it's all very subjective. But I think for gold, let's pull up gold actually. Let's set some charts up. 3 charts. I can explain it then in a little bit more detail. 3 charts, 3 screens. There we go. Let's change that, and let's also get. Let's get this up as well. gold. There we go, gold. Let's put it in an hour time frame. So we've had a great move up, haven't we, on gold? There's that stab down to the downside, which was down to about 1832. So I've just taken this low of this range, the last low, because now we're making higher lows. So I've put my stop up. Well, I'm out of this trade now. That was short and sweet. That was okay. It was like a 30 pip grab, 30 pip move. I didn't even end up getting 30 pips out of that move in the end, because I went to close it and I just missed it. Just missed it. Never mind. But anyway, it was a bit of profit. Can't complain. But that was the that was it there. So then the minute it pumped up just then, I could put like a trend line and say we are making higher lows, aren't we? This current price action, we can even go so far as to extend it there. So yeah, just as a rule of thumb. That's annoying. Choppy and annoying.
Last week Thursday, no, last week Wednesday, with the GU, how it was going down,
Yeah.
and then on Thursday, all that important news,
Yeah.
the GDP figures, it was like the bank interest rate and some other stuff. It was like six things that came out like back to back to back
Yeah.
at the same time. That sent GU like all the way up on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of like anticipated that a little bit. Because
Yeah.
if it's new, look, of course the banks, if they know what they're gonna do, and if they're already bringing price down, they're just bringing it down to bring it back up. I was able to make a quick profit on that.
Yeah. See, that's good. I was saying to everybody in the forums and the chat groups, just saying I'm not trading the pound pairs for the moment. I'm just going to wait and wait for the news to come out. But yeah, cables suddenly just burst up, and gold is making a move up now. It's gone down, hit my stop loss entry, and the entry's everything. Look at that, and it's just exploding to the upside. I get pissed off as well. I get pissed off like everyone. It just pisses me right off, because this is a no-brainer. Look at that. I mean, they're taking the piss now, aren't they? Just what? But anyway, we've scaled in some nice positions on the pound, so we'll focus on that. Well done if you've taken some profit on gold, and if you're in profit on the pound. Oh goodness me, yeah, we're having a massive pump up as well on the stock markets. Why is that then? What is going on? There's money to be made. Literally. I am in EU long. Okay, good. So, dollar related weakness. Gold is crazy. Pumped up again. Yeah, that's giving you a couple of entries, opportunities.
Some news came out about the USD.
Oh yeah, of course it did. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what caused a bit of a stir. So yeah, there we go. Definitely, if you're in on gold and you've made some money on it, good. Well done everyone who grabbed some. Yeah, where from?
1 hour 10.
That's all right. Good. Yeah, but where from? Not time frame. Where's your entry? Why do you? This is what makes me laugh with traders. Why do people need to check? It's like, what else have you got going on in your life that you don't know where your entry is? You should know this stuff without looking at it. Are you in on this as well, Abel? Are you long?
Yeah, I'm long.
Are you holding? Did you get stopped out a few times? Oh, look at that beautiful move on gold.
I got stopped up in the afternoon when I shared my entry. I think I had an entry that I shared along, so I had to break even on that.
Okay.
And I hopped in again.
Okay.
Pretty much. I took the same entry.
Yep.
Assuming where
Yep.
break even, so I took a re-entry again at that same point.
Yep.
currently up. So I'm just waiting for that 138 by 50.
130,
138.
138 where? 138.
Yeah, 138 550 for the level, for the height to be broken up, so that I can, that we have some confirmation of that.
138, 130. Wow, what am I'm looking at? It's no wonder it's confusing me. I'm switching from gold to gold. Right, let's have a look. Where are you long from? You guys are in basically. You're in long, and it's gone up now for a retest. And I scaled in. I got some positions on around 138 somewhere down here. So I need to take some off here. Let me just get some profit off the table. Let's bank a little bit. Come on, load up. Oh god damn, these things take so long. When you're in money, they don't want you to make money, do they? Right, I'll take some there, and we'll take a little bit off there as well, and just leave that one now to run. And yeah, cool. So I did say we'd probably get a bit of a pullback. Let's take some off here as well. Come on. Load up. Very bad price action, and yeah, there we go, done. 90, very aggressive, all really quick and aggressive. But anyway, it's hit 52. That's done. Gold's done. Gold's hit 52. So yeah, that was nice. That was some good money there if you managed to get something on there. But did eventually. So gold did faff about. Did eventually hit target. Yeah, I banked early on that. So good. Right, let's adjust these fibs. Let's put it up. Luca, you banked some profit. You taking something, or where you holding to? He likes this 50 number. It just keeps getting stuck at this 50. Okay, cool. Good. Why do you guys keep shouting at each other and misunderstanding each other? I have to say, I don't care what the conversation is about. And I don't care who's right or who's wrong. Let's just review some of this conversation, because it's interesting. I think there's some misunderstanding with. I think there's definitely misunderstanding, miscommunication. Yeah, but we're going back to before that. Yeah, we're not talking about that right there right now. We're talking about before that. We're going back. No, it's not whatever though. We're going back to before. We're going back to the initial conversation. Yeah, the FTMO chat. So you were saying about the 100k. This is important. So you're saying most people don't get it, and they're right. You know, you don't actually get given. Let me talk. Let me talk. I'm going to talk over you. I don't want to listen to anyone talking about any of this stuff, because it does my head in. Every day is the same thing. We have these debates that end up going into like just people being disrespectful to each other and talking to each other like trash, and I find it so draining. It's very immature, and it makes me question whether people have the right mental attitude. Yeah, egos, that's right. People's egos getting in the way. Everyone's got something to say, and everyone can justify what they have to say because this and because that. And at the end of the day, it's just energy being wasted, you know? So Lucas said something about, he touched on something really, really important, and he was saying, with these challenges, these prop firms, you have to understand and read between the lines. It's not a case of them just giving you 100,000 and away you go, and you've got 100k in your pocket that you can just play around with. You haven't. If you had 100k of your own money, you could do what you want with it. You could risk 50% of it, and nobody would say anything. It's your money. You do what you like. But with these challenges, you can't do that. So, in reality, do you really have $100,000 to play with? He was saying, no, you have 10%, because that's the parameters that they're giving you. You're only allowed 10% risk, which in theory then means you're only going to be able to risk 10k of that 100k. That's right. End of. You know, that's it. That's where the conversation should stop. And then it goes on, and then it goes on, and it goes on. It's like, I understood it, and I said agreed, and you were right. I think nothing more to say on it. And that should have been the end of it. And then it goes on, and then we scroll down, and I stopped reading. I haven't even read through the rest of it. And then it's like, don't be ungrateful. But nobody's being grateful or ungrateful. No one's said anything. Someone just said that they got it, and they were going to comment, and they're choosing not to now, because I said, let's not talk about it anymore. It's all done. Yeah, that's understandable, because I could see where this was going. You just knew where it was going to go with that conversation. It ends up going into some, I don't know, very aggressive talk. What the hell has everyone been so aggressive for? And who's ungrateful? Ungrateful for what? You're helping someone out. You're explaining it. You've explained it. It's been explained. It's understood. That's it. Or don't get it. It's fine. You don't then have to again, say, okay, don't you listen to me? Are you not understanding what I'm saying? Are you thick? Are you stupid? It's almost like that. It's like you have something to say. You've made your point. That's it. You made your point. Now, whether people choose to listen to that point, it's up to them. I'm telling people the same thing every single day. People don't have to listen to me, though. They'll still have to do it themselves and learn from their own mistakes. And that's just nature. I don't think anyone's being ungrateful, though. You have to choose. Be careful what words you guys choose, because it sounds like you're saying that someone's not listening to you, and being ungrateful would mean that you're giving someone something for free and they're not saying thank you to you. And it's totally out of context with what is being said here. Just highlighting something. Nobody needs to pay you for that advice. No one has to say thank you to you. If they choose to, it's up to them. This is where communication can sometimes break down a little bit in these chat groups. Conversation can go a bit wonky. And you don't know how somebody's reacting. But I think sometimes some of you instantly go into defensive mode and react and think that someone's being aggressive towards you. And how do you know if they are or not? They could be sat on the toilet. They could be sat having their breakfast when they're answering you. They could be sat reading something or in bed still half asleep. You don't know what context they're replying to you in. You don't know unless they say to you, oh, I'm currently about to go to sleep, or I've just got up and I didn't sleep well last night, or I'm a bit hungover. So you guys keep making assumptions. And if you make assumptions in your daily life with somebody talking and you're replying and they're replying, and you can't have civil conversations, you've got no hope of being a trader. Because if this is how you are with just your personal stuff, and you're all aggressive and everyone's swearing at each other and shouting and screaming like wild animals, you're not going to be a trader, because you haven't got the qualities, you haven't got the characteristics or the attribute. You need to be calm, always calm. And we've said it once, twice, 3 times, but this is an ongoing thing now. And if this continues, we'll have to just chuck people out, because it's just, you're not using your energy wisely. It's egotistical arguments. About what? Say what you have to say. People can respond accordingly. They can react and say, all right, thanks. Or somebody said something, Lucas said something about this FTMO challenge. You only get to risk 10%. So in reality, you're only really playing with $10,000. Okay, yeah, good point. That makes sense. And I said, yeah, agreed. And I said, that's it. We don't really need to talk about that anymore. And Chris, Mr. CAB, was going to then respond. He was going to type something, but he changed his mind. He said, you know what? I agree with Alex. I'm not going to, don't need to add any more to that. And then straight away, Lucas like, all right, don't have to be ungrateful. And it's like, ungrateful for what? He hasn't said anything. And so then it carries on, and breakdown of communication between people having a chat about something that's, it's just childish. And I've just wasted 10 minutes of my life on this. It's time I'll never get back. You made me waste 10 minutes and all the time that I had to scroll through and read all this shit. It's wasteful. I should be charging you for this bullshit. If this goes on again, I'll just chuck people out, because I can't be doing with it, and it's tiring and it's bullshit. Talk civil to each other, or don't bother. Waste my time again, I will just chuck you guys out. I don't care. Wasting my time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. I don't want to hear a response. I don't need anyone to reply to me. I'm just making a point that I'm in charge here. This is my shift. When I'm here and I'm doing my stuff, all your pettiness and every bit of bullshit that you guys want to throw in, it's not appreciated, it's not valued, I don't like it, I won't have it. grow up. You ain't going to last 2 seconds in this game because you haven't got the right attitude. Think about that. Personal development. There's a lot of personal development that needs to happen. Otherwise, you're not going to do nothing. Just a lot of talk and a lot of hot air. A lot of if, buts and maybes. You're going to be millionaires. Yeah, in your dreams. Some people just need to grow up. Stop arguing. 1:44. Right, 1:44 London time. Gold's done its thing. Let's have a look at gold. Gold has hit the spot to the T. I knew it would do one more pump. Just waiting for it to stop fucking about. Sorry, I shouldn't. So you've got me into my bad swearing mode. Just been waiting patiently for gold because yesterday and the day before it pumped a little bit, didn't it? And you just thought, okay, it will stop, and we just need to assess and just see if it's going to actually drop back, if it's going to give us any sort of clean pullback, or whether this move up was going to see some form of retracement. So if we switch this up to a 1 hour chart, let's have a look at this. 1 hour chart. It's looking for the 50s because we have a 38.2 first fib. Also, if I look at it on a smaller time frame. So this is gold. These are my charts. So we had this move up, and then just before it got to 50, because it kind of almost knew that people were looking for 50, right? Because 50, someone touched on this yesterday about psychological numbers. 50 might be a number that people deem to be of importance or relevant, obviously, because it's 50. But, banks don't think like that. Somebody said that, these are just numbers. Don't put too much emphasis on it. You can add it as a confluence. But it got to about 48, and then look at this, it dropped. Even had a signal to short this, had some divergence. It was overextended. This is a 1 hour chart. We had a nice spike down, so a lot of profit taking off this big move. It went down to 32 from 48, which is quite an aggressive move in an hour. So nice big sell-off. So you could have gotten in looking for the pullback. We did have a lot of chop, so it did start to get choppy, and we allowed it to calm down as it went on into the evening yesterday. And now that it's calmed down, now it's confirmed that it's remaining bullish. So I was just waiting to see what sort of pullback, and if it gave us a pullback. If it didn't give me a pullback, I wouldn't have gone for this. But it just so happens to be that I'm sat here, and turn of the hour, with the help of the news, we're looking for one more pump to the upside because it's bullish. It turned bullish a few days ago. Well, this week, having seen this wash and rinse kind of a slam dunk move to the downside. It's gold bullish, so it was just a case of buying the pullbacks. But yeah, timing your entry is always important. So now that's done for me. Is this going to continue up? Yeah, probably. I've given targets to the upside for gold. Next target is 1870 because that's a 50% retracement. So just scrunch this chart up. I've shared these charts as well. If you just bother to scroll up, it's only a couple of days. You can see all the stuff that I've shared in the signals group. Yeah, thanks, Anna. Sorry about listening to the rants about nothing. It's nothing. It's not relevant. Your conversations are not relevant, really. You don't have the soapbox. You don't have the legendary status. You don't have anyone earning. You haven't earned your respect. You haven't earned your stripes. You're still a private. You're not a colonel. You're not a major. You're nothing. Until you earn your respect, no one's going to listen to you. You can shout and swear all you want. It's just going to make things worse. Definitely, people are not going to listen to that kind of an attitude. It's not how you get people's attention. We're not gangsters. Anyway, yeah, 72, 1872. So 1870, because I like to round things down. 1852 area. I rounded it to 1852. Why? Because of this last range. If I just switch this to the 15 minute, you'll see why. So we took this last swing high where we had the double top around 1870, 1875, and we've had this nice big sell-off to 1785, which was almost 1,000 pips. pretty decent. 100 pips shy of 1,000, so 900 pip move, pretty decent move, 900 pips. So this was the pump up to the 76.4, so that was my target. When it got to the 61.8, I just thought it needs to at least pump up one more time. And that's done. Now that's done, I'm not gonna touch gold at the moment. We'll allow it to react off here. I think people have talked about imbalance, and I think Luca asked about imbalance, and I thought we'd use a live session to just go over that as well. And any more questions anyone has? Imbalance. Yeah, so we've had this move up, so maybe because it's such a powerful move up, which was provided, the news has come out and that's provided a bit of momentum. We may well see price trickle back down to feel this, what they like to call as imbalance. Makes sense. It stretched itself. So you imagine it being like an elastic band. It's a lot of tension, so it needs to pull back. So what sort of a correction will we see? That's the next, question. So will we just see a pullback to 43 and then go back up, or 76.2% of that move? I don't know. We'll see. Right, so that's finished. Let's get back on here. Let's get log back in. See, waste of time. Share screen. Zoom call has been reset, but YouTube is still on. In case anyone's wondering what happened there. Okay, so yeah, let's switch it to gold. Let's do analysis for gold. That's it. Touched it to a T, bang on. So we had higher lows being made, still bullish. Higher lows, quite nice really. Let's duplicate that. Clone. Did anyone take any trades? Anyone take anything off gold? Just out of interest. It was quite an aggressive move.
Hi, Alex.
Hello, Chris. Hello.
Hello. Oh, yeah. That gold one, it was just literally a couple of points.
Yeah.
When you were talking about waiting to get back in.
Yeah.
When it reached the top of that move and it was there stuttering and it virtually stopped, I got back in, but it's only half a lot.
It's a fast move. If you took anything off that move, that's great.
Yeah, I'm just looking to come back to 1850 just to get a small scalp off of it.
It might just tank though. It might just tank. It's done. It's hit target. So yeah, just be careful on that, because it could feel what they call the imbalance. So if we talk about that, so we've had this pump, and so we have like a pump and dump. Like you see, a great example of that price action has been seen with the stock markets, with these Wall Street bets. Where people have pumped the price up of a stock and people made a lot of money over a few days. Same with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And so timing is important, that we have a move and then expected, people will get mesmerized, a bit like the flies hovering around those blue lights, fluorescent lights. And you think, oh wow, this is bullish, so let's try and find another entry and get in. But the move's done. So you try and take a long now and it could just go down 40, 50, 60 pips before it drops, before it goes back up, by which time Have you got the nerves to hold this move as it drops all the way down here? And then what you need to appreciate is,
I was just looking for half of it, if possible.
yeah, well, you know, it's a
But
but
usually, you know, if you get a big one, it seems to give half back before it does anything else.
yeah, on the
Goes
retests,
after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had it here. If I, let me show you on the 1 minute time frame. Actually, this would be a good one. If we looked at it on the look at it on the 1 minute at 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock we have the initial move up, which I spotted, and I thought, okay, let's try and get in on this. So we've had a little bit of a move up, and it was all getting ready for this ultimately. So we've had this ultimate pump to the upside, which is wonderful on gold. And target has been reached, 76.4. That's a key area not to be ignored. We had a little bit of a move up, then we had the pullback, then we had the proper move up at 130 with the news. So that's provided a news move related momentum. So with any impulsive move, then you've got to have a corrective phase. So impulsive and corrective. So just have to wait and see. Is that the correction? Is that it, or will it eventually drop back down again? Because I think personally this was just going to come back down to 48 or so. So then what we do, 44 rather. So what we do is we measure. Again, this is why fibs are so good. Because this move, now we could put this on a 5 minute. Let's put it on a 5 minute. Let's measure this move. So where we've taken off from is here, where we've just consolidated at 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock today, London time, which is 8 a.m. New York time, we rallied. So I'll take my fib and I'll put my 0 starting point there. We'll take this current high and we'll measure the pullback. Now for me to get in, I would have to structurally wait for this to hit some support. So using the fibs helps me with that. So 48.72 for a precise entry. So sorry, 48.7. So maybe with your spread you might say about 49 for an entry to go long. Prior to that, I wouldn't be taking longs, trying to get in up here. You're buying at the top, doesn't matter which way you look at it, it's buying at the top. For an aggressive scalp, okay, if you've got tight stops and you're good at this and you trade off a 1 minute time frame, that's cool. I get where you're coming from. 3, 4, 5 pips. Just don't be a martyr to this trade and end up holding it with no stop loss and let it just go all the way down here, and then you're like,
No, it's got a stop loss on it. I've got into it just always putting one on.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so for me, I think the best entry, this is about sitting on your hands and waiting. We got that. We made some money on that entry. We noticed that it pumped up on a 5 minute chart, 1 minute chart. It gave us this initial move. So we started buying into this trade. And pretty much sniper entry, drawdown was non-existent, and we took some money off it. It's all good. Now, this can give us a drop all the way back down to where it broke out from. Impulsive and corrective. So we get back down to 42. When it gets down to 1842, or if it gets down to 1842, it's at that point I will start looking to see what it wants to do next. Will gold continue to pump up or drop? If the good thing about this 764, this 76.4 on any of these moves is it's a good benchmark. It will tell you it's the line between north and south. That's what I find with these moves. So we've had this move up. If it retraces to here, what it could do is it could just be doing the initial pump up, the initial bit of money, bit of profit taking, does the impulsive, then it does the correction back to where it broke out from, corrective, and it holds here, finds some support, and then has another leg up. Now that second leg up would be just as powerful as the first, if not more so, because then maybe it's confirmed that it doesn't want to go down, and it confirms the long, and it confirms the long move, and it will continue long, and it will be bullish for the rest of the day, for example. There is that aspect. If it breaks a 764, then it means one of two things: either it's going to be range bound, or the chances are it's going to make a low. It's going to take out all of this move, and it's going to suck anyone in that's trying to bite the top here for their longs. They've gotten in too late, they've missed this move, and they're just going to tank it on you and stop you out and suck in a few buyers, all the buyers that are holding their positions. Because people trade funny as well. They don't know when to take profit. They don't have an exit strategy. Somebody was telling me yesterday they were up 4% on a trade. How much of that did they bank? It was more of a desperation. They got out of it and took about 1%. But they're up 4%. And I was like, well, when were you thinking of taking some profit? So, oh yeah, you're right. I might just move the stop loss to entry. You know, it's like, but you're up 4%. If you've got 100k and you're managing 100k, or you're managing funds, and you've got 4k profit, or whatever it is, yes, you know, each to their own. But understand price action, and sometimes holding out and holding out and holding out, and just thinking it's just going to keep going and doing what you want it to do. Yeah,
It sort of draws you in.
it does. It does draw you in. Some days it's good for it. Gold, when it's trending, it's great. You see, the last few days it's been trending. There's no stopping it. It just moves and moves and moves. It's really, really good. Love it. Gotta love it. But today, right now, it's just been consolidating, and because it's bullish, I was just looking for that bullish pump, and it's given me the pump to target, because this has been my target for the last 3 days, up here to the 50s.
Right, well that there is actually where I got in, so I'm actually now thinking about coming out.
Yeah, so
Just that I've made, just that I've made a little bit of profit on it.
yeah, that's good. So you know when to take your profit and to get out is the other thing, isn't it? That's no one can tell you that. But yeah, just be mindful of that. If it breaks us,
There you go.
if it breaks the 7.6, if it breaks the area, then yeah, I mean it just resumes that, you know, we're going long and it's going to be bullish and happy days, and we'll start making some new highs, and we can start targeting the bigger picture. We'll drill back up to you know, we'll go back up to like a daily time frame, and we'll start looking at that. Let's put it on maybe a 1 hour time frame. Start looking for that retest of the 764, like you say, that high that's put in, with a notion of trying to break it, and if it can break it, we'll start looking for 1875 and onwards and upwards back to 1900. But I did expect it to react.
Is that the awesome oscillator you've got on the bottom?
Yeah.
So I've seen that in your videos, and I've just put it on. I'm just sort of trying to get the hang of using it.
Yeah, it's a bit rubbish with the trading view. Awesome oscillator. There's a few. I saw there's probably about 4 or 5 different ones. You could try about 4 or 5 different ones. I haven't, to be fair. I just used the standard one that was available, and it seems to be okay. This is a 1 hour. Let's have a look at my 1 hour chart. Let's see how it differs. Yeah, not much difference. Got divergence. Divergence, yeah, it's pretty much the same.
So are you just using that to confirm the trend?
I use that for my divergence strategy. I use that to, it's a volume indicator. Some traders will have these similar style volume indicators vertically positioned. So here on the left hand side of their chart, or maybe on the right hand side of their chart. And so you'll see the volume that's kind of in the background, and you think, well, what's that? It's volume. It tells you where the, you know, it just shows the volume really, and it shows you where the volume spiked. Yeah, I suppose a bit more accurate in terms of the reading, because it shows you exactly where the volume occurred, and you see it raised, like it might stick out a bit more here, in line with this pump to the upside. You know, so it might, personal preference, I guess. But yeah, volume indicator used for divergence, also good for the MT, the momentum, because if we're above the 0 line, then it's bullish, and so, you know, it's a little bit, you can see diminished volume, very low volume. That's why I waited, because it was doing this and the volume just wasn't there. Then you can appreciate we're during the this is the Asian session, so what do you expect? It's you know, it's going to be a bit lighter, perhaps.
Oh, it just crawls. I've tried staying up and looking at that, and it just.
The good thing about the Asian session is that it does certain things, maybe sets a high, sets a low, and people have created strategies that say, okay, during the London session, if it breaks the Asian high or the Asian low, that will give them a potential to get into the market, for example, and so it can be a good indicator. It can be used to create strategies, because generally the Asian session doesn't do a great deal. So that's not the be all and end all, is it? That's the very beginning. So it can be.
Yeah, well, I'd read that it was a good time to trade the Australian
Yeah, because that's when they're around, and if they have Aussie news, so if they have their own interest rate decision in New Zealand and Australia, then you get big moves. So if you're living in that side of the world, you'll get 100 pip spikes. You can trade the pound New Zealand, pound Aussie, euro New Zealand, euro Aussie, for example, or a little bit more of a tame currency pair would be Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. They move a little bit more sympathetically, not so aggressive, but still you can earn some money just trading those news events a couple of times a month, which is okay. Less is more, isn't it? Less is more. Less is definitely more.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that.
Yeah. Think of it this way: you have 5 chances to make money, 5 days a week, 5 chances. Now on certain days, 20% of the time, so maybe one day a week, you're going to have some good price action, good movement. Stuff's going to be happening. Could be some news events. Could be something that gives you some trends, and you can probably make some good returns. 3, 4, 5% returns just on that day, which would then mean for the rest of the week, if that happens on a Wednesday, you have no business trading on Thursday and Friday. If you have had a great few days and you've made your profit for the week, and you're still trying to chase profit on a Thursday and a Friday without really respecting your risk and having that discipline to say, you know what, I shouldn't be trading, but if I'm going to take a look, I might just dip my toe in the water, so literally risk maybe 1/4%, and maybe really cherry pick what it is that you're looking to trade, as opposed to just trading at 100 miles an hour with no consideration for the fact that you've just made your money for the week and you're just being greedy and undisciplined, and that's all about you and very much about yourself, really. And so they're the things that will often cause a trader to mess up and lose. The worst case, obviously, what can happen. The worst case is that you've had a good start to the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you've made you're up astronomically, like 20% or something really stupid, and you're still sat there trying to trade, and you end up giving most of that back, and then you start chasing those losses, and then you end up having a break-even week, or worse, a losing week, and it's like, where did it all go wrong? And it's a harsh lesson. And that was just you turned into a gambler. You had no rules. And they say that discipline is about choosing what you want most out of what, as opposed to what you want now. And we live in that society, don't we, at the moment? I say that society. In, in, in,
With Rob, where
yeah,
he discusses, where he's starting out,
yeah.
and where he was making great money in the mornings, then giving it all back in the afternoon.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then,
Yeah.
then he started having his target for the day, and once he reached that was it, finished.
I think if you have $100, you don't put much value on your trades. If you have a small account, then you don't really value it. But what you should be doing with a smaller account is not trying to flip it, which is just stupid. And it should be used as a tool and be sensible and say, okay, whether it's $100 or $1,000 or $1 million, I need to apply the same set of principles. Now, the idea of having a small account should actually take the pressure off, allowing you to focus on the process. So if you're going to risk 0.5%, you're doing that on a small account without any real concern. You lose a couple of quid here and there, it's nothing, It's not the end of the world. You're not going to have to sell your house or become bankrupt. And so you take advantage of the fact that you want to put some real emotion into it, but at the same time, you want to get some experience, and you want to learn how to trade consistently, which means that you want to do the same thing every day mechanically and say, okay, I'm gonna risk 0.5% every day. I'm gonna take 5 trades in a week. If I make my money by Wednesday or Thursday, I'm not going to trade Friday. I'm going to extend my weekend and enjoy my work-life balance, as opposed to being sat here at 7 o'clock at night, having got up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 12 hours later, you're still there looking at charts, trading. Or the other thing, $100 account, £100 account, people trying to flip it to make it into 200 and 300 to pay for a challenge. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not teaching yourself anything. you're aggressively trading, you're going to adopt the same principles when you get that funded account. You've saved all that money, you've done so well in attacking it and being aggressive, you're going to get this, you put that money towards a challenge, and then you carry on being aggressive because you've learnt no money management and risk management because you haven't applied any of it to your trading. You've gone about it all wrong. And people do it. Everybody got so many messages. What was
In fairness to them, FTMO do have in their, it's on their webpage somewhere about the challenges where they actually say, once you've passed and got your funded account, don't trade like you did for the challenge. You'll take your time.
Oh, did they say that? Okay.
They actually do say that on their webpage.
Well, we took it a step further because we've done the challenge, and we wanted to see for ourselves how it would feel, and I struggled because the time constraints and setting yourself some 10% targets. You feel like you're in sales again. It feels like you're working in a bank and you're having to phone clients up and tout them for money. Hit them up for some cash and say, look, we've got these new products on, and they're gonna generate 10% returns or projected returns for the year. Really good at the minute. Do you wanna? You've got some money sitting here, not really doing much. Do you want to diversify, or do you want to top up your existing funds? And it's like that, and then you earn commission from it, and it's all. And that's how the banks and hedge funds and all the rest of it operate, right? They've got the people making the calls, mostly tapping up existing clients, and then talking to the trader on the other side of the desk and saying to the trader, will you accept such and such? I've got this person on the line. Can you do this deal for them? Can you get them in at this price, etc., etc.? And the trader will say yes or no and look to get them a good price, a good feel. And and all that conversation is doing is keeping the client on the line and suddenly making them want to get involved. And it's all clever marketing and sales and everything else. And FTMO and all these other prop firm companies are adopting similar clever tactics to entice you to do it. And I've done the video and said, look, stage 1, you have to be aggressive, and great if you pass in 3 days, but you can't carry on trading like that. That's not sustainable. For a lot of people have passed the FTMO first stage, and then the second stage, you only have to make 5% in 60 days, which is half the amount of money, twice the amount of time. What's the problem? Well, they haven't learnt to slow down. They're still over trading. It's like 5-6 days in. How many trades have you taken? 12 trades. How many did you take when you passed the first challenge, first part? Well, I'm not too clear because I managed to get some luck and fluke it and pass. So they haven't got any stats to base their understanding of how to manage risk. They haven't got the experience. They've not allowed themselves the experience. We talk about this all the time. Stage 1 has to be traded a certain way. Stage 2 has to be traded a certain way, the verification stage. Stage 3, when you do get funded, you've done all the hard work, you need to be risking 0.25%. Take it easy. Don't have to trade every day. Do you think that happens? No. Do you think that people just come in and trade the same first stage, second stage, third stage? They trade it in exactly the same way. They're not flexible. They haven't changed. It's the same way. They hammer it in the first stage. They hammer it in the second stage. If they're lucky enough to get past the verification and get to funded stage, they hammer that account after being funded. Chances are they won't get 3 times, third time lucky, third time unlucky. By the time they get funded, they'll blow it because they haven't learned anything. They've not changed. They've not adapted. They've not got a trade plan that encompasses stage 1, 2, and 3. I've done the video to show you how to pass the challenge, but then what to do once you've passed, how to keep the money, longevity.
Yeah, has anybody ever come up with any figures on how many people actually pass?
Yeah, it's like a 93% fail rate is what I saw recently.
I know that, but after they passed it, how long do they keep their account?
Oh yeah, the jury's still out on that. Yeah, I've managed to put the feelers out there and ask around, and I've had a few people get in touch and give me some information. I was speaking to one guy who did decide to come on and share, which was really, really nice of him, and I've kept in touch with him, and he's got one strategy, and he just looks to trade things like the pound dollar, for example, and he may take maybe 5 or 6 trades a month, which isn't very much, which is nice. He look for when the criteria meets what he wants, and then he makes money off that. And he might make. I think he had a really good month so far, going from last month to this month, something like 17%, having done nothing but let his winners run on a few occasions, and markets were favourable for him, and he done really well, something like that. And I thought that was really, really good. So at the moment, he's had his account since July last year.
Okay.
So that gives you
But,
some idea.
If you took the 8% from this year, how many of them would still have an account?
There's not many. Yeah, I think you know this though, Chris. There's not many because statistically, just having explained how people don't know how to manage risk, they're not going to be able to manage an account or manage funds. If they can't manage their own bit of money and they've got a couple of grand and they can't turn that into anything, giving them $100,000 isn't going to change anything, is it? Their style of trading, the way they trade, the way they are, their attitude to risk, everything. If they haven't made any efforts there or learnt anything, then it's common sense. They're not suddenly just going to turn a page and, I'll give you 100k then. I'm not making any money with my 2k. That's all right, I'll give you 100k. It doesn't make sense, does it? So yeah, it's few and far between at the moment. There are a few out there. I know 2 ladies that are making money, that have done these prop firm challenges and are making money. And I know one guy, 10k, and I know one guy that guy just talks about that's doing it, and there's another guy that's on YouTube that adds a couple of guys on YouTube that talk about what they're doing, and I've seen screenshots, I suppose, of their accounts, and in terms of how much they make every month, don't know. So yeah, it's not high, it's not a lot, and it's not an easy game. It's only going to be a small percentage. Someone's asked a question: how can you know on which fib level you have to buy if you want to buy a pullback in an uptrend? Okay, I was going to say that's easy. So let's pull up here. What's this? Pound dollar. Here we go. Pound dollar. Pull up pound dollar, and oh yeah, pound dollar's going. Go on, son, making a new high. Like it. I'm going to move my stop to break even. Pound dollar. Bear with me. Let me just sort this out. Stops to break even. Because we've made some monies. Yeah. Was it 52 now? Was it 58 a minute ago? Oh, it's topped out at 58 and it's gone to 52. Okay. Okay, no worries. Done alright though. Okay. Done just over 1%. That's alright. Just from gold and pound dollar today.
So, Alex,
Yeah.
I have a question regarding prop firms.
Mhm.
Why would you stay with them, for 1 year after? Let's say that you pass the challenge, okay?
Yeah.
And the drawdown is an absolute drawdown, okay? So which means that if you make profit, whenever you lose, you will be losing your money, your profit. So, and besides that, you would be sharing with them 30%.
Mhm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, they are not covering your losses anymore.
Yeah, I know. You still split the
So
profit.
why would you give him?
You still split the profit, don't you? And I don't know. I don't really know if people want to. A lot of people talk about they want to get funded and start making some money and withdraw the profit every month and put that profit into their own trading account so they can do what they want with it. Okay.
Yeah, but they will be sharing their profit anyways.
Okay. Me, I've no.
And the platform is not
I'd have
covering
no.
losses.
I don't know. I'd have no problem just sharing my profit. I just think there's enough for everyone, and I would make sure
Yeah, come
first
on.
off. I don't know. Make sure first off that I compound the account. It's up to you. You ask a question. I don't know what you want me to say though. What do you want me to say? You know what to do. You do what
Mommy, that
you do
the
what's right
platforms
for
are
you.
really smart, you
Yeah,
know?
they are smart. That's right. They've got a business to run. It's a business.
Yeah,
It's their capital, and
I
you
will
are
back
their
this.
trader. That's right. You are their trader. It's their capital. It's a business. That's right. Exactly what they're saying. Exactly what Gandhi's saying there. That's right. That's it. If you choose to take profit every month and build up your own account until such time, what would you say? Would you say, okay, until I get to 100k, and then once I get to 100k, then what? I don't know. You're
Yeah,
doing okay.
you withdraw your money,
Yeah.
then you start trading from your
And then what would you
like
do with your
account
yeah?
that you
But what
funded, your life account.
Well, what do you do with the prop firm money? If you're still making money with it, you still got this, right? And they'll keep adding to it every 4 months, providing you're making 10% over a period of 4 months, they keep giving you 25%. So 25k for every 100k you have, they'll keep
Yeah,
adding, won't they? With FTMO, for example. So you'd have two accounts then, in effect. You'd have an FTMO account, and you'd have your own private account. That's okay. Why is that? Why do you make it sound like
well,
it's a problem, though? Why do you make it sound like it's bad?
because you will be sharing 30% and you are making your profit, not their profit. You are
It's
making
not your
like,
money, though. It wasn't your
let's
money.
suppose that they cover 10k.
Yeah, but
No, because they cover it
yeah, of
10k.
course.
After
Alex, can
making
I?
10k profit,
Yeah.
let me finish my point first.
Okay.
After making 10k, my take your 10k profit, they're not covering anything. They're
Okay.
just
So what? I don't.
basically
Yeah.
robbing the
Then
money. They,
Robin, but they're
Alex, can
not
I
though, are
reply to
they?
that?
What? Hold. Yeah. Hold on a second.
Alex, can I reply to that?
Yeah. What? One sec. One sec. Let me just say that with prop firms, you're subject to their terms and conditions. Like it or lump it, do what you like. Saying that they're robbing you, though, I mean, again, this is you, Luca, using strong words that they
no, I
don't.
mean, not having.
How are they
I
robbing you?
shouldn't
It's their
say
money. They
robbing.
can do what they want. Like it or don't like it.
Yeah,
You've got no say on it. It's up to them. What? Who cares? Why waste your energy talking about stuff that is out beyond your control? Work within their parameters. Work to their rules, or don't work
no,
to their rules.
I just share my point of
I
view.
know, I
You know,
know,
I'm
I
not
know,
robbing.
but
I'm just
no,
sharing.
of course. So yeah, I think short answer is just up to you really. Do what you like, but it will give you an opportunity to build up your own account. Take your money out every month and put it into your own personal account. So then, no matter what happens, if they decide to pack up shop, they go broke. They change their rules. You do have a bad month and you lose 10%. Whatever, you've got some money, and fine. It's giving you a vehicle, an
Yeah.
opportunity to make some money. In terms of robbing you, no, it's just that's yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
because they say we cover your losses. This is bullshit. They just cover your first. Let's say that
okay.
you
I
grab the
do you know what
100k
though?
account.
Yeah. Do you know what?
After making a 10k profit, they are not covering anything. They are
Okay.
just taking
Alex,
Well,
can I?
their
yeah.
share. You know.
Talk. Yeah.
Alex, may I reply to that?
Yeah. Go on then.
Yeah. Um, I've heard a few people say the same thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my argument is always, you know, as a trader or as a trader that has been trading for a few years,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
have a strategy, you have a trading business plan, you know, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Would you ever have, you know, the ability to get a 300k worth of funding? Now, if you can do 5%, 10% every single month, that's 30k a month in your pockets. Now, would you, you know, on average, a lot of us wouldn't even be able to raise £5,000 or $5,000 to trade with. I would rather do that than taking $1,000 and
Yeah.
trying to, you know, grow it to 100k.
Yeah.
That would
Of
take
course.
forever.
Yeah. Of
Yeah. You're
course.
right.
So
Of
You're
it
right.
course.
so it makes life, so the way it is FTMO has, it's their money. So they've made life easier for you, whereby,
You go in, you get the 300k funding.
Yeah.
You make 5 to 10% a month. You put part of that into your own personal trading account. You don't touch it. You compound it for the next couple of months, couple of years, until it gets to a good enough amount whereby you can leave your job or whatever. I have I know that I don't know whether you guys know Trade CIT, the two
Yeah,
German
I
guys
know.
that own the two German guys that own I was in their group for 2 months 2 years ago, and one of the guys, Moritz, he doesn't talk much. I think it's Morris or Rolf. One of them doesn't talk much,
Yeah.
and he said that he has he has accounts with all the prop firms.
Okay.
That I think there's one. I think there was one, Axis Select. Axis Select only actually gives you 20%.
Okay.
Axis Select will give you 20%. He said he doesn't care
Okay.
because it doesn't do any extra work.
No, of
So
course.
he will, he will trade that money because all he's doing is he's trading once and he's copying to all the accounts. So he's not actually. If he said that even if they want to give him 5%, that he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
He's
No,
not
of
doing any
course.
extra money
Exactly.
and
So
he's
it's
not doing any extra work and it's extra money.
so
Yeah,
it
but then
depends how you
he
perceive
will be
it.
sharing.
Yeah, but why is that a problem?
True.
Why do you have a problem with that though, Luca? Why is that a problem for you? What do you
Because
want?
they're not covering.
Well, what
They're
do you
not
want?
covering anything. You are just giving money for free.
Well,
I
you,
don't like
but you're not
giving
though, are
money.
you? You're not giving money for free. They are giving you their money, and then they're saying to you, if you want,
Yeah, but
yeah, you're paying for
you already paid
access.
them. You
What
already
you
paid
think?
them.
You think? You
They
think?
gave you
Listen, mate,
10K.
Luca. I wouldn't give anyone 100k of my money if they. Yeah, you give me $600 and I'll give you $100, $100,000. Forget that, mate. What you think? If you paid me $600, that's enough. That's not enough. I want a cut of the profits. I want a cut of the profits. I don't want to be liable if you mess up and you have a drawdown of more than 10%. I don't want to be liable for that. I want to cover my ass. It's my money at the end of the day. It's FTMO's money at the end of the day. It's their money. They set their own rules. Like it or you don't like it. What's the complaint? Well, they're not robbing you. They're not saying what? You want them to sugarcoat everything? You want them to put a nappy on you as well? You know what I mean? It's like you can't expect them to do too much. I don't know what you're complaining about. I understand your point, but it's a point. It's like, but the way you're sort of saying that message, it sounds like to me you're complaining. It sounds like you're moaning about the fact that they don't cover it and it's all bullshit. Okay, don't do it then. That's fine, mate. What do you want them to do? Phone them up and complain to them and say, I want you to give me $100,000. I want to pay you your fee of $600 and that's it. I want to keep all of it. If I feel like it, I might give you a 30% if I feel like it, but you've got to guarantee me more. And it's like, yeah, forget you. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen, is it? So you're just, again, wasting energy talking about something that is irrelevant. It's their money. They do what they like. Luca, you put yourself in their position. You've got all this money and you're looking for traders. You're going to help them, are you? You're going to help them a little bit. They've got to do it for themselves. I don't know. You want them paying you, right? Paying you for the privilege. It's a loan. Think of it that way. You go to your bank and you say, "Bank, Mr. Bank Manager, can you loan me $100,000, please?" And then you go off and do what you want with it. But there are certain restrictions. In this case, there's risk restrictions involved. Now, if you blow 10k of that, they're saying, well, you're not fit for purpose. You're not good enough to keep that money. We're going to take that account from you because you're not good enough. You don't know how to manage risk. If we just let you go running wild with that money, you'll lose the whole 100k. If you prove to them that you can lose 10k of it, then you can prove to them that you're going to lose 100k of it as well, because you've got no risk management. You have no business trading if you go into 10% drawdown. You don't know what you're doing. You think you know, you haven't got a clue. You know, so it's like that. So it's up to them. The way you're talking, it sounds like they owe you something, or they should do it better. They should do something better than what they're doing. They don't have to. So I think we touched on it though, didn't we? We touched on it and we said that now that there's a lot of people working from home, they're trading from home, there's a lot more firms out there, they're all competing with each other, they will all eventually give you better deals and their offers and that better deal, all better deals, better offers, better deals. Just be patient. Maybe by the time you get round to actually wanting to manage some prop firm money, they might have some offers where they say, right, just give us $300 or something, half the fee, and away you go. Or give us $300 and we'll give you, I don't know, 80% instead of 70%, whatever. You know, I'm seeing these all different crazy offers and different things, but it's up to, you know, it's up to them. I definitely 100% would not complain. I would not complain or talk about it as if it's something negative, because it isn't anything negative. And, you know, swearing and stressing about it and saying it's bullshit. Again, this is exactly the kind of talk I'm talking about. What the fuck are you on about? What's bullshit about it? Winding me up now. It's like, what are you on about, mate? A company's going to give you some money to trade with. What do you want more from them? Get the money from them, pay them the money and say, all right, I'll trade it and I'll make money and I'll live happily ever after. Job done. The rest of it's bullshit. The rest of it, I don't know what you're talking about. So, prop firms, I don't know. I think the best prop firm at the moment for me that I like the way that they're set up, and the one I've tried anyway, is FTMO. Paying them $600 to get access to 100k of their money and having a 10% drawdown, that's fine. If I lose 10% of that money, what the hell am I doing? Shouldn't be trading. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, gold is doing exactly what I said it would do. You know, the initial push up, impulsive, now corrective. So again, I think it just comes round to, when you want to talk about certain subjects, understand what you're talking about and really be mindful of what you're saying, because think about you going to a court of law and trying to put your argument forward in a court of law with people around you. What are the jury going to make of what you're saying? Does what you're saying make sense? Or be clear on what it is you're saying. You just want to have an argument, or you just want to moan about something for the sake of moaning? Okay, but not with me. I can't be bothered with it.
Share my point.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it is. But you're moaning. You're complaining about it. You say it's bullshit. You said it's bullshit, and you're moaning, and it's like, well, who cares? Yeah, because the same thing, isn't it? Rat the chunk. It's just the same thing. I'm listening to the same people complaining about the same thing. Very negative. All right, good. Done for the day. Shall we do one more? Yeah, let's do one more. Do one more. One more Zoom call. I was going to pay for a subscription with the Zoom. Well, that means that I have to be sat here for hours and hours listening to some of it, and just, oh, no thanks. Oh dear. All I've seen today is, and all I've seen for the last week or so is a lot of anger, a lot of negativity. Negativity? Can't even say the word. A lot of frustration. I don't know if that's from their personal life. I have no idea.
You know, Alex, I sent the series, I think 2 days back, about the Lex Van Damme hedge fund kind of thing that he set it up. You know, so the main reason why I sent it was actually, you know, to show traders that how your character can actually define how you trade. You know, like I think you have seen it, right? I think you might have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have noticed, like at the end there were 8 traders, and at the end it's just 3 of them remaining.
Yeah, it's an old program. Here we go. I watched it. I watched it some years ago with the Dutch guy, and I think who else was in there? You had Anton. Yeah, that's it, Anton.
Yeah.
Good old Anton. He looks like I feel. I tell you, just look at him and just think, oh.
Yeah, I think he was just 29 years old when he was the manager for that hedge fund series, or the show that they had for 2 months.
Yeah.
Did you hop into the yen pairs today, Alex? Like GG, I guess?
What's that, mate? Sorry, I missed that bit.
No, I mean, did you hop on the yen pairs today?
Yeah, no, no,
in the London session?
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I just took a pound dollar long and gold long, and they've both played out. And gold has done exactly what we said it
Yep.
would do. It's hit the level, tap the 76,
True.
tap
Yeah.
the 38.2 of the bigger range, 76 of the smaller range, hitting the 200 50 EMA on the daily as well. Got EMA support, resistance. It's all there. So pump, make your money, get out. Stop holding it for thinking that you're just going to keep buying into it and it's just keep going long, and expect it just to keep.
True.
It's not, gold isn't one of those things that you can do that on, unless it is trending, which it has been, to be fair. But also look at how much it's been trending. So look where it's come from. The journey. We're not at the start of the journey. We're not even at a midpoint of this journey.
True. Yeah.
It's already done the journey. And so trying to keep taking longs up here, common sense. Ask yourself, should you get in and get out, or should you get in and keep getting in thinking that it's just going to keep giving? So be mindful of the price action as well, and appreciate where resistance is, and acknowledge the resistance. When you don't acknowledge these levels, or you don't understand these levels, you will lose, because you'll end up over trading or taking poor trades. And even if the poor trade works out, that's even worse, isn't it? Because that instills some belief systems that you think, oh, this is how to trade.
That was the exact same thing that happened with me yesterday. I think I was about to go GJ long. I think I shared it yesterday too. I was looking to go long from 137.70, around that area.
Yeah.
I was long, and it was 3 VIX into my entry. So I was like, maybe it's not gonna go long, and I won't be confident into it, because I had like almost 3 tests into my entries, and the fourth time it came into a test, I kept myself at break even, and I got taken out, and it just rallied after that, like
Yeah,
Asian
yeah,
session,
yeah,
the
exactly.
New York pick it up, and then
Yeah, it's been some good movement, good price action. It's all good.
true,
Someone's left the group. Okay, so okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's left. He got in. He's had enough. Left. Luke has left. Understandable. Too much. Some people it's just too much. It's too much. So there you go. What can you do? Anyway, any more questions? Anything else? Shall we look at anything else? What's the time? 2:36. So 2:36. We've had a bit of decent price action. Some news came out which provided a bit of momentum. We have some speakers this evening, don't we? We have some speakers tonight.
yeah, true,
Somebody's pointed out Governor Bailey.
yeah. There are even news outlets talking about how Elon Musk is driving Bitcoin. What is your take on that? Like, what do you think is actually happening on that?
You know what?
Do you think
I don't know. Some people said that he didn't actually buy that much. He's saying that he's going to, and just talking about it is a concern for some traders and investors, because if somebody can just come along and say some guy that's suddenly become the richest man in the world, and now social media and everything else is pointing at him, so many memes and so much content on social media using him as an example, and pulling up old video footage of his past interviews, and he's suddenly become man of the moment. And so if he does something, we don't have Trump, we have Elon Musk. It's like swapped him for him.
True, yeah.
Of course, people are going to be for and against it.
Yeah.
So I just think if he makes things happen and creates waves and opportunities, and you're able to get in on some of those opportunities, great. Not just him. We had Wall Street bets and other things happen. We've had cryptocurrency as a whole been making some big moves after 3 years of being pretty sideways and dormant. It was only a question of time before it would spike back up. And yeah, I mean, it's just opportunities. Opportunity knocks. There's just more opportunities. It's a never-ending buffet. Oh, there we go, Andy. Thank you. So Powell at 7 o'clock. There you go, 7 o'clock London time. Well, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. We explored the price action on gold. I talked you through what I said it would do and how it would do it. Right now, come down to 764, pretty much impulsive and corrective. It's done that. This is a 5-minute chart, so you can see what I said. This is your money-making opportunity. Don't try and then, or be mindful if you hit a very key level. You know, big area of resistance around 1854. It hit 1855, tapped out, job done. Will this now go down? Possibly. Look at the monthly. This is what we say about top-down analysis. I'm mindful of the monthly being bearish. Let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly's bearish as well. I'm mindful of the weekly being bearish. Oh, last week's bearish. So we need a full week to be bullish. We're only on a Wednesday, so we need this week to be bullish, and then maybe break this trend line on gold. Bigger trend line. You know, bearish resistance at the moment. Bigger trend line. Powerful weekly trend line resistance. It needs to break that. So again, it's gone up and tapped that resistance area. So be mindful of that as well. So intraday movement was bullish. We've had four decent pumps since the weekend. Bullish. Come up to 76.4 of that last swing. What's it going to do now? It's tapped out. I mean, I was only looking for 76.4. So what's it going to do from here? Let's see what happens. See what happens the rest of the day. See what happens tomorrow. It needs to break through all of this resistance. Or to the downside, it needs to start testing some of this, these lower highs. These higher lows that he keeps making. Higher lows. Take them out, take the trend line out and curl over and then curl down. And then someone said to me about how do I get in? How do I judge the pullbacks and how do you buy the pullbacks? Well, that's straightforward. You look at on here, plotting your fibs. So this was a pullback. And if you wanted to take a long, you'd look at something like 1842 for a potential long entry. And then you could tuck your stop in just below that. And obviously then it's the turning point here. If it breaks 764, we're going to go and test the lows again, which could then see a new low being made, which could then indicate a reversal from bullish to bearish. So if we start making lower highs, then yeah, done. If you're looking for an entry, for the initial before all of this happened, if you're talking about how do we time that entry, well, you could have said, okay, let's look at the let's look at the 61.8. Okay, we were hovering around there. We stayed bullish. We pulled back to almost a 50% around 1830. It's rejected. So yeah, I mean, again, bullish momentum. Tuck your stop in underneath here and ride this move up. It's not an exact science, and it does take a bit of practice for sure. There's no handbook that says, okay, this is going to drop back 50. It's going to come back down and test that 50%. But you can use your confluences. You can use previous structure. I've got this purple box which indicates a supply and demand zone, like the order blocks. They're just a key area where you just kind of know that there's a bit of resistance there. And what did it do the first time? Well, it touched it. It pretty much touched it. Test once. It's a 4-hour chart. Tested it here, rejected. But then there was no follow through. There's no continuation down. So that tells you that was just a correction. That was just a bit of liquidity grabbing. That was a bit of profit taking. That was a reaction, rightly so, off a key area of resistance. It's done that now. Does that mean we're going into a full-blown meltdown to the downside? Clearly not. It didn't do it. What happened after? Nothing. It gave it all back. So it was just seen. So that tells you it wasn't a sell-off. It was just a correction. What's that? Is that a sell-off? No, it's a correction. People want to know about wording and jargon and use words like imbalance and this, that and the other. This is not a sell-off. This is a correction. So understand price action and label it correctly. That will allow you to then... Somebody was asking me this morning about pound yen. Should I take shorts? And I was trying to get in on a short. And I said, well, I'd rather wait for the pullbacks and buy them because buy into it. I said to him, what do you think the market is doing right now? Is pound yen bullish or bearish? He said bullish. I was like, well, you know then that you're taking a counter trend trade. So don't just expect it just to sell off and give you your pips because it's a counter trend move. Expect it to maybe drag its heels to the downside. And besides, we've already had the divergence, and we already shorted it at the start of the week into Tuesday on the pound yen. So it's already done the move that you're looking for. You're too late. Sometimes getting in late is in not realise it. Just look at the charts and say, well, actually, the move I'm looking for, it's already happened. It's like you just need to open your eyes. So actually, it's already happened. But you're hoping maybe some ego there or something, or stubbornness or whatever it is. You're hoping it's going to give it to you again. It might do. But just appreciate that if the move has already unfolded and you're just choosing to ignore it or sweep that one under the carpet, oh, that doesn't count. I'm looking for it to do it again now. So, okay, but bear in mind, consider what's happened. So a lot of it's about sitting on your hands and observing and going through price action. And these what these live sessions are about, really. They're about looking at price action, about going through things together, about identifying, giving you an idea of how to think, and yeah, hopefully it helps. What's this? Yeah, I think right. Good. Gold is giving it all back. Yep. Although a great trader, that really defined him. Yes, that promoter with his anger. Who's that then? Who are you talking about there? You talking about Anton? Gandhi. Are you talking about Anton? Lex. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it's good that you watched it. Yeah, I watched it some years ago. What's gold? What's this doing? What's a pound just sitting? This is what gold does. This is what pound does. It loves it, doesn't it? Pound. So what did we get up to on the pound?
Pound at 650, and then just came back.
Yeah, exactly. So what did it go up to? 60 something. We're trying to get it up to 70. 70. Let's switch this up. Let's have a look at pound quickly, and then back to 50. It likes that 50 number. Okay, yeah, so we're nearly there, 76. We're looking for 76, and it got up to 7. Not even. It's going to get there. It's just dragging its heels. Got up to 66, 10 pips away. Again, with this sort of movement, we are going to find some exhaustion. Look at this on a 1 hour chart on pound dollar. It's done a big old move, and look at the hour candles. It's pushing and pushing, but it's grinding up ever so slowly. So you've got to be mindful of that, and just thinking now that when you're buying up here, it's just going to go like that in a straight line. That's just not going to happen. Yeah. Anyway, good chat. Hope you guys are all right. Yeah, they provide some clarity. Talk about certain things. Get angry, wound up by nothing.
All right, Alex. I take leave. All right. See you.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
No worries. No worries at all. No worries. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll catch up tomorrow. I'm going to go work on my podcast now. A bit of psychology. I need some. I need a drink. Who wants to go for a beer?